everyone. Welcome to the Spot Real Talk. My name is Tiara.
I'm Tiffany.
And I'm Ron.
And today we are here to discuss SnowFall. This was a good one. Oh my goodness. So good. This is season 6, episode 9, and it was titled Sacrifice. But before we jump into the conversation, make sure you click that subscribe button, the notification bell, and like this video. This is going to be a great conversation today. We have so much to talk about. So let's talk about sacrifice. This episode really blew my mind.
Yeah, me too.
I was blinded. I mean, literally sitting at the edge of my seat and my mouth hung wide open. I
was live tweeting the episode and just watching the responses in real time. Crazy.
So, where do you guys want to start? Y'all just want to go out with it?
Yes, like who we starting with? Sissy?
Well, you know what? Oh wow. It's like do you eat dessert now or do you save it till after the meal?
Oh, we can work our way up to it. I mean, however y'all roll.
I'm good. It doesn't matter to me.
Let's talk about how we opened the episode. Franklin is kind of filling everybody in. Teddy is obviously still being held hostage. He's telling him, if you don't transfer this money back to me by the morning, you're out of here, you're dead. And so he's got him locked up in a room, and he also goes and kind of locks Ruben in the room. And Franklin is really trying to pull information out. This whole episode, he's been sending in several people to Teddy, trying to get him to see that this is your last chance. Like, if you don't give up this account information, you're dead. So first he goes in and he's telling Teddy, like, we're past being sensible. Like that we passed that last season. So, then Sissy goes in there and Teddy lies to Sissy, saying that Alton's still alive. And, that Sissy she was trying to spare Teddy at first. She told Franklin, like, let's just let this be it. Let's turn these men into the KGB and let's just move on to another country. Let's restart our lives. Like, she was actually being very sensible to start.
That's not sensible to me, because you can't trust either one of them.
Right.
I mean, turning Teddy over to Ruben. And first of all, we don't even know if Ruben, look, Teddy is so diabolical. He may have, if he had gotten away from Ruben, end of game.
Yeah, exactly. You can't trust either one of them.
Yeah.
Right. And I just couldn't imagine a world where Teddy was still alive.
Exactly.
Because you would always have to be looking over your shoulder. You cannot trust him.
Right.
You saw what he did with the father. I mentioned this last week. They left the country and he still followed them and killed them. And then he lied to her face and said that he was in a prison in Puerto Rico. He was not. And then he threw it in her face later and said, I lied. And then what we learned, which we already knew, that Teddy was racist.
Yeah.
But in the conversation with Franklin, the things he was saying to Franklin confirmed it.
Yes, it was.
Like, you don't deserve this. This isn't your money. I put this whole operation together.
I made you.
And wait a minute. And what about when Franklin brought up the fact of how he was destroying the black neighborhood, and it was for the good of the cause? Are you what? I didn't see you run out going
to do the drugs,
right? You didn't put it in the white neighborhood for the good of the cause. So I guess when he said that, I was like, please kill him.
Oh yeah. He basically called him an animal. I mean, he basically, the way he talked to Franklin, he let him know, like Franklin said, I thought we were friends.
Yeah.
I thought that we had got to that point. And he let him know what he thought of Franklin all along. And so at that point, when Franklin, he said all that stuff to Franklin, I was like, put him in the dirt.
Yeah.
Same. I thoroughly enjoyed watching him get that hot oil poured all over him.
But
served at this point.
Speaking of that hot oil, now let's go to V, because V seemed to get that anger after she figured out, or after she realized that they're on bankruptcy row.
Yeah.
I mean, because before they were all messed up and of how Franklin was handling things, killing people and doing everything. Then she goes out and buys some Crisco oil or whatever that was.
It was Crisco.
And then and then gives it to Franklin. I mean, when we talk about torture, because that oil continues to burn, it just burns through.
Look, I done fried some chicken before and I got popped a little bit.
That's right. I mean, and so for her to go that route at that particular time, I was, I'm like, okay, V, I see you got the bug now. Somebody
that was after she learned that the check bounced for that building.
Yeah.
And she was like, our first mortgage payment for that building bounced. That's when she was with it.
Yep.
It was like, okay.
Right.
But I did not want, though, he sent different people in there. And I was like, I wish Sissy didn't go in there. Like when I was watching it in real time, I was like, he shouldn't have had Sissy there.
I agree.
Because I felt like because Teddy is CIA, he's an assassin and stuff, they know how to play mind games and everything like that. And I just was like, I was afraid at some point would he get loose? Would he attack her or get into her head? Which he did.
Yeah.
He did get it, right. And I thought
and that's why I was like, I wish Franklin had them, even V had them somewhere else.
Yeah.
And Leon. I wish that he and Leon would have been there holding it down.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, but when he started playing the roulette with the gun and stuff, I was like, okay, this could be it. Like, this could be the moment that he takes him out. But then, it continued to drag on. But, Franklin had dropped Gustavo off and kind of completed his transition out of the country or whatnot. But Gustavo was like, make sure that you kill him.
Right.
Like, you still owe me this.
Right.
And even after that, Franklin still kind of went back on his word to Gustavo because it turns out that they were, Teddy reasoned with Franklin and he was like, look, let's just split it down the middle and let's agree to go our separate ways. And, Franklin got to a point of desperation where that actually became good enough for him and he was willing to accept that agreement. So, that just shows, I was like, dang, Franklin, you're not even going to consider that you told Gustavo you was going to take this man out. What if that agreement actually did go down? You gonna have this man out here with the ability to still hunt Gustavo down after all he did for you?
And you hunt you down and your family. I
was hoping that after he got the money that he would still take Teddy out. Because I was like, that's the only way I can see that working. That you get your thriller and then you still get Teddy up out of here. Because I just don't see a world that Teddy lives and that he lays low. He is not to be trusted. The only way when they had him in there and they were torturing him, they didn't resort to it. They didn't have to, but I was like, they might have to go pick up Harissa. They might have to go get Julia. They might have to pick up his kids, his son, something to get at him, because I feel like as an agent, no matter how much you torture them, they're used to that. I mean, they're used to that type of training and this, that, and the other. I feel like with the torture, he was probably never going to tell.
It's interesting that he gave up those numbers and the way those numbers were hidden.
Right.
Oh my gracious. That was Teddy, hats off to you, bro. You got it going on.
Numbers, I still didn't trust it. I was like, not hand them over until you check and make sure those numbers are correct.
But Tiff, here's the thing. When they had the rendezvous, and Teddy had to make the phone call to give the password, how then would you have killed him? Because, you got his boss next to him. And one thing I thought, yeah, but you know what I thought? I thought they had other agents around. It seemed like everybody walking, was an agent. Could have been an agent.
I thought so. I still think so. They could have had sharpshooters and everything.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking it might not have been a good idea to try to take Teddy out at that point. And if you didn't take him out at that point, you got to look over your shoulder. Gustavo can forget it because
Sissy did.
Listen.
Yeah, you hit that one. I mean, okay. I guess we got to go there.
We going there. Let's go.
Yeah,
I wish she would have waited. I wish she would have waited until.
Why didn't she wait though? Was it that? Was it that horrendous to find out that man was lying?
I know, so but she should have come with emotion and anger that I
but
felt
she should have known, or at least had some suspicion that he was lying.
Yeah.
Because Sissy's no fool.
But this is also Sissy's first interaction with Teddy face to face. Sissy has never had to deal with Teddy. And so, like you said, Tiffany, he's very manipulative. And so he really manipulated her and fed into her vulnerability.
But she had doubt.
So once he fired back and was rubbing it in her face like that, she was like,
like, I shot him twice. And the disdain that he said it with. And I think that was part of it too, what made her come undone.
Yeah, but she had doubt because she did go up to him and say, is he really in a jail in Puerto Rico? So she had doubt. But I thought that she would at least wait until he gave the password.
This is the first time in the Spot Real Talk history that I'm giving somebody the game ball and who can get the hands at the same time. Look, Sissy can get the game ball and she can get the hands.
Because she could have waited. Because you see, Franklin was like, no.
Yeah.
He looked so destroyed.
Oh, man. Oh.
You know, Teddy is dying. He's trying to tell him the password. And I'm like, you know, it's terrible because that could have been the opportunity to kind of set Franklin up for a life after this. You know, even though she knew she had already reconciled in her head what she was going to do, I think by actually wanting to attend with him, she was like, no, I'm just going to go to make sure that they don't try to pull a fast one on you. But I think in her mind, she might have already resolved that this might happen.
And you know when that was? When your son tells a mother that he doesn't care if he ever sees her again, and in Sissy's mind, nothing else could have been worse for her to hear than for her to hear that coming from Franklin. And I think that is what gave Sissy that whole idea of it doesn't matter what happens to me now, because I've lost him.
And truth be told, I don't think she wanted Franklin to get the money because she talked about how much it destroyed him and how it changed who he was. Yeah. And so I think that's why I said she already had in her mind what she was going to do beforehand.
Listen, I feel like when she told Wanda to take over the shelter and stuff, I think she knew that she was either going to be dead or in jail or whatever. I don't think she saw herself as getting out of this situation intact. Right. And I think that's why she told Wanda that she could run center. Yeah. I think she anticipated.
I thought she thought she might, she might die, but this imprisonment over killing Teddy, man. I mean,
yeah, that was a hell of a move.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, he
when
deserved
I tell
it.
you my face was on the floor. I had to sit there for like 10
told me, I was like, she gonna kill Teddy. I was like, I said, we thinking Franklin. I said, Sissy gonna be the one because he murdered her husband too.
And then the way that they chose to play the dial tone at the end of the episode, it just kind of let the moment sink in even more that like, dang, this really happened. Teddy's really dead. This money is really not coming back to Franklin. But I wonder if there's still a possibility though, because I wonder if maybe Teddy made some contingency plans and told Parissa maybe the password.
Listen, that's a good point. Or, I still would push up on Julia because Julia is part of the government too. And she was saying, give him the money back. And she always thought that Franklin should have his money back, number one. And number two, she may know some ins and outs to get the money back. One of the things I was wondering what might happen with Franklin. I think he's gonna end up in jail. He either gonna die or he's gonna end up in jail in the series finale. But I'm wondering if there's a way that he gets his money back, and then he thinks he's in the clear, and then he gets killed. like a male comes out the cut. Or even Louie, because we see Louie got pressed this in the beginning and stuff, and he had to get low on him and run.
So yeah, I was gonna talk about Louie too, because Franklin actually did her solid by giving her a heads up and saying,
Except
"Look, DPA is about to be outside your door."
Except then she still wanted to blame Franklin for saying, that he waited until he, last minute. Yeah, I mean, come on, lady. He didn't have to tell you anything.
I know she tripping, right? He didn't have to call her at all.
Exactly.
And I really thought it was gonna be over for Buckley too.
I did too. I was like, especially when she saw the beat, that it confirmed that he did get a beat from Jerome. He just ain't show up. And so I thought she was gonna take Buckley out too.
Yeah, and for good reason, because now you leave him alive, and now he's after you, probably.
Yep.
So I don't know.
I don't know. What do you guys think happens to Louie from here, though? Because obviously she's wanted. She's on the run as a fugitive here. And I think that it's only a matter of time before the feds track her down. So does she go down, and take it, take it to the chin?
Well, first of all, she got to get rid of that cop car. And then number two, the question is, did she really have a place and $1 million, or was she just telling Buckley that? So, because if she doesn't have it, she's a sitting duck.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know whether to believe that or not, because Buckley even questioned her, and it seemed like she might have been bluffing once he questioned her.
Yeah.
But I think, I don't know. I can't see Louie wanting to go to jail. I don't think she has much to live for. I think if the feds kind of close in on her, she's gonna go out in like a blaze of glory.
Or she'll kill herself. I think she'll
Queen Latifah style and set it off.
I think she commits suicide. I think she'd kill herself.
I don't know. Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, when she go down to Arkansas with her peeps,
she got to get there first. I mean, and first of all, you got to get rid of that cop car, because that's
right.
You can't drive that for so far. It's a good question. Because Buckley is alive now. Had you killed him, you would have had a few more hours or whatever, and you could have kept the car a little longer. But Buckley's alive. He can easily report that his car was stolen. But then again, he wouldn't, and I'll tell you why.
I think he's off the force.
Well, yeah. And then how would he explain being with a fugitive?
She was holding me hostage. She had a gun to my head and she told me to drive, or she was gonna shoot me. That's easy to justify.
I don't know. But how'd you get up there? How'd you get with her in the first place? It makes sense. I mean, it definitely is a viable excuse, but I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm still waiting. I want to see how this last episode goes to see what happens with Louie. I definitely want to know what's going to happen with Franklin. I'm still worried about Leon. Still, it's he was really trying to reason with Franklin too as well. And it seems like in the previews for next week, he's kind of telling Franklin, she sacrificed everything to save you. And it seems like he's referencing Sissy and what she did. So I think that he and Franklin are on opposite sides of the coin. Like, they not seeing eye to eye. And I want Leon to make it, but I'm still up in the air about whether he does or not.
I think Leon might be going to the bank.
Yeah. And
if he doesn't, if he doesn't die, I think he's gonna go to the bank.
Yeah.
Franklin, though, we've said before, he's unhinged, but now that he came that close to his money, and he's no farther ahead than he was, at the very beginning with it. He even Leon better watch out for Franklin, because, Franklin is just, he's unhinged.
Did you see him choking V out in the previews for next week?
I mean, to tell you, so he has to watch out. Leon has to watch out for Franklin. I wouldn't put it past Franklin.
Is V a Fed? Because when I was tweeting and stuff, some people were like, you know what, the twist could be like you thinking that he getting away clean, and V might be undercover all this time.
Yeah, but undercover folk don't go to bed and get pregnant, though. I mean, that's a stretch. I mean, look, it makes for good viewing, but I mean, oh God, if that were the case, it's a hell of a.
Is V even still pregnant though? Because we seen her last episode having those pains or whatever. So I'm like, what happened with that? And then this episode, she just was not acting like a pregnant woman. I'm like, she couldn't see the bump anymore either.
That's
right.
true.
That's why I was like, what happened to that?
I was like,
Yep. Yeah.
So, y'all might be onto something there. So I cannot wait. I am like itching to figure out how this is gonna end, what's gonna go down, who makes it out alive, who goes to jail. Is it gonna stick to the true side of the story? Are we gonna go along with what history says happened? Right. Or are they gonna change it up for entertainment value? Like, how does this go?
I know I'm gonna miss this show though when it's gone.
Yeah, me too.
It seemed like this season went by really fast.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So episode 10 will be a bittersweet episode, but
I'm starting to feel about this episode the same way as I felt about Ozark when it was ending.
Yeah.
It was good, but it was bittersweet for me too, because I didn't want to see Ozark end either.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm either way, I'm satisfied with how this. If this was the finale episode, I would have been happy. So the fact that we still got one more left, I'm still, I think no matter what, they did this show good. I'm sure John Singleton will be very proud of all they have done this season. Just the progression of this whole storyline. It's been phenomenal this season. Yeah, so like I said, I'm giving Sissy both the game ball and she's on my who can get the hands list. Do you guys have any other nominations?
I was happy to see Also get away. I'm hoping that we think at least it looks like he walks off into the evening and he got away this episode. Hopefully we won't see in a series finale that they caught up to him because we're not celebrating too soon. But I was happy. I was clapping and stuff to see Also get away.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Game ball. Wow. Let's see. So you did a negative times a positive with Sissy.
So it equals out.
Right.
Yeah, it equals out.
Let's see. So I don't know if you can give it to anybody.
Teddy got the hand. He got the gun. He got the bullet.
Yeah, Teddy got the hands. Rightfully so.
He got grease and hands.
He had grease, the bullet, all that. Yeah, so he got taken care of, and it was long overdue. Who else?
Yeah, I don't think I
can. How we feeling about Franklin? Do y'all agree with his decision? I mean,
I understand, but I don't know if I agree. But look at what it's cost you.
Right. It was a bonehead decision because actually it cost you your mom. So
he should have taken his mom. I really feel like Sissy should have been kept away because first of all, he knows the mind games because he even said to Teddy, like, why you lying to her about so why even put your mom in that position? I was telling my son we were watching, I was like, there's no way I would have had my mom there.
Absolutely not.
Or even I wouldn't have V. I mean, I would have my significant other there so that Teddy can also lay eyes on my loved ones, because what if he got free? That's the first thing I'm thinking. Now I know who you are, because he was like, did you hear Teddy? She seems nice. I was like, see, if Teddy was to ever get loose, he would be coming after V, his mom, all of that. So I was like, no, I wouldn't have had it would have been me and Leon holding it down.
Yeah, he was so hell-bent on getting that money, or it's part of the money, that he just disregarded.
He said he was desperate. Yeah, he did. He said it. Now I'm desperate at this point. I don't care. It's out. He said everything is out the window. And I mean, 73 million.
What do you guys think happens with Ruben? Do they still turn him over, or do they release him? Do they kill him? Like, what do they do?
I don't know that I would try to because Ruben said to Sissy, like because he can be lying too, but they do have tapes of Franklin, because Franklin said everything on there, and that's why I kind of feel like Franklin gonna end up in jail, because the deal was Ruben wanted to turn Teddy over so that they can lock him up, and now that Teddy's gone, Franklin is the next best thing. So I feel like they're gonna I feel like they're gonna lock Franklin up.
Yeah, but what happens to Ruben? Ruben is sitting in that wherever they were, in a cage, and it seemingly everybody walks away and forgets all about him. He may just rot in that place. Which is he could very well. I mean, because I can't see why would you let him go?
No, I would, but the authorities might come and get him if they're looking for him or whatever. I mean,
but they got to know where he is, and seemingly,
I mean,
I don't know.
Who knows? They could be tracking him, or with the CIA stuff, whatever the government, they might
find.
Like
Louie is the only other person that knew that location. So the only way I can see them figuring out where Ruben is if Louie gives up the spot.
Yeah.
Or if Franklin or Leon or somebody tells, I don't know.
Scully too.
Or or if it turns out that V is a Fed, then she could give it up.
Yep, she could give it up.
So I'm interested in seeing what goes down next week. I'm so anxious to figure out how it all ends. Mm-hmm. Do you guys have any other closing remarks you want to add?
No, it just seems like all these past 2 years, all the shows are ending. Like this is it. This is the last season, and then Ozark ended as I mentioned, and I don't know if you guys watch Succession. This is the last season of Succession too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so a lot of great shows coming to it.
I've been trying to watch Yellow Jackets. It's I've seen a few episodes. It's a little bizarre for me, but
I heard that's a great show. And
they say it's a great show.
Our comments saying
so with this one coming to it, and I'm sure there'll be another one that pops up eventually, but this one, like you said, that is hard to see go. So
yes,
we're gonna have to have our farewell tour next week.
Look, we might have to bring cocktails to this one, to the series finale.
Yeah. So to all the viewers out there, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please drop down in the comment section and give us your thoughts about this episode, as well as predictions for the big finale next week. Also, make sure you subscribe to our channel, like this video, and click that notification bell. You can find us on social media at The Spot Real Talk on all major platforms like TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So follow us there. Check out our interview playlist. Plenty of interviews in there. Most recently had Peyton Ashbrook, who plays Jenny on the series Power Book 2 Ghost. So check that out. Tons of other shows that we have had talent come and chat with us. Mm-hmm. So you don't want to miss out on those either. So before we close, I'm gonna give you guys one more time. Anything else? Speak now or forever hold it. All right. So on that note, we are going to call it a night. Make sure you guys are back next week, same time, same place, where we come back to discuss the final episode of SnowFall. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.